What's up, Star Wars fans? Today I want to talk about The Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 21. That's right, as I predicted in my preview video, Episode 5 is a pirate-centric episode where the pirates from Episode 1 return to Navarro, taking the planet over. But I was absolutely wrong when it came to Greef Karga and who he was going to contact for help. Interestingly, Greef reaches out to the New Republic for help when the pirates first show up, and this request comes to none other than Carson Teva. We see him at what looks like a small New Republic base in the Outer Rim, and what's really interesting about seeing Carson is that he's keeping company with an old friend from Star Wars Rebels, and that is the purple creature known as the Lasat, who must have been Zeb Aurelius, one of the main characters from Star Wars Rebels. Either way, it was amazing seeing a live-action Lasat. The folks at Lucasfilm did an absolutely amazing job. But moving on here, Carson Teva goes directly to Coruscant to try and get help from the New Republic, but apparently Navarro hasn't actually joined the New Republic properly, so the New Republic can't actually send aid to Navarro, and instead of giving up, Carson actually goes to the covert of the Mandalorians of the Children of the Watch. He tells Din Djarin all about the pirate siege on Navarro, and from there Din Djarin is able to convince the rest of the Mandalorians to go to Navarro, with the promise of new land from Greef Karga, and perhaps a new and much safer home for their little Mandalorian cult. And once again in this episode, we see Bo-Katan taking on a leadership role, as she is again the most experienced when it comes to attacking the pirates. Her plan is for Din Djarin to swoop in with his N1 starfighter and cause a distraction so that she can pilot her ship into the city, dropping off the Mandalorians, who can defeat the pirates on the ground in the city of Navarro. And this battle, of course, wasn't the same scale as we see in the Star Wars movies, but it certainly all looked just as good as any movie. Din Djarin and that N1 starfighter is just so deadly, and seeing the different teams of Mandalorians working together, taking down the pirates, as well as Paz Vizsla and his heavy weapon, I just absolutely love seeing these Mandalorians in live action taking it to the pirates. The only part that seemed a little weird is the fact that the armorer came along. I mean, she doesn't have a jetpack, so I'm not sure how she got out of the ship with Bo-Katan, but ultimately she does have a great scene attacking the pirates and taking out their heavy weapon that was pinning down the main Mandalorian forces. Overall though, great to see the Children of the Watch coming together and rescuing the people of Navarro. Seeing these Mandalorians in action was amazing, and seeing them as heroes was even better. The one thing that I found disappointing is that Bo and Din actually destroy the pirate ship. I still think it would have been amazing if the Mandalorians were able to take over that ship and use it as their own to fight the Imperials when it comes to taking back Mandalore, because that's exactly what the armor suggests that the Mandalorians have to do. She allows Bo-Katan to take her helmet off and charges her with the mission of reuniting many of the Mandalorians in the galaxy so that together they can all take back their home, Mandalore. But that's not the only hint we get about the end of this season. We also see Carson Teva at the end of this episode. He's looking at an old Lambda-class shuttle that was part of the Republic fleet, and apparently it was the transport that Moff Gideon was on heading to a Republic prison. And unfortunately, that Lambda-class shuttle had been attacked, and Moff Gideon was nowhere to be found. So this obviously sets up the return of Moff Gideon, and the fight for Mandalore will be versus Gideon versus the Mandalorians that Bo-Katan can bring together and the Children of the Watch. But hey, Star Wars fans, that's all the time I got for my review today. I'll also be reviewing the Bad Batch season finale, so check that video out when it comes out a little later today. That said, remember, I'm Mike, and the Force will be with you always.